Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you for watching. If you're new here, my name is Maria and in today's video I have my 10 fall favorite DIYs. These are more traditional colors, so I hope you guys like it, and if you do, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the bell button so you can get notified every time I upload. With that being said, let's get into the video. My first DIY is this pumpkin patch. From Dollar Tree, I picked up I start off by removing the hanger and the price sticker. I'm going to paint it using this chestnut acrylic paint. To make it look rustic and old, I'm going to distress it using brown paint and then black paint. I just love how this makes it look old and rustic. I'm going to use one of these wood pumpkins. The only orange I had was too bright, so to tone it down, I'm mixing chestnut and orange. Using my black acrylic paint and my elf brush, I'm going to distress it so it won't look so flat, and also to make it prettier. To do my words, I'm using this self-adhesive stencils. I didn't remove the paper from the back, so I didn't use the adhesive. All I did was trace letter by letter. With my tiny brush, I went over the letters in white acrylic paint. To make my pumpkin look cuter, I did a shoestring bow. Before I glued the shoestring bow, I took a leaf. You can use any leaf from any flower you have at home and just cut it to make it look smaller. After you cut it, you want to make a small hole. To tie the leaf to the pumpkin, I use a piece of small shoestring. If you don't have this piece of wood, you can use a popsicle stick instead. I distressed it using black paint. Using my glue gun, I'm going to glue the pumpkin to the wood and then the wood to the sign. I'm going to use the hay or excelsior to decorate it, and then I'm gonna add the pumpkin. From Dollar Tree, I got this 2-pack wreath form. I am going to use this ribbon I got from Joann's. Paid like $2 for this with a coupon. I'm going to start off by wrapping the ribbon around the wreath. I got this family wood sign from Walmart. I know it's not from Dollar Tree, but I did pay less than $1 for it. You can use the metal signs Dollar Tree carries. I am going to paint this using a mixture of golden sunset and pumpkin acrylic paint. Next, I will be using 2 burlap leaves I got from this pack from Dollar Tree. The leaves have wire, so I didn't have to glue them. You can if you want, but I didn't. All I did was wrap them around the wreath like this. To add more color and it doesn't look so plain, I decided to add 2 fall leaves I got from a fall leaf pick from Dollar Tree. I am just going to glue them right on top of the burlap leaves. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the sign in the middle. And that is it, guys. I just love how it turned out. I am using a 11 by 14 inch picture frame from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the plastic and remove the back and the glass. I also got this cooling rack from Dollar Tree. Since the cooling rack is way bigger than my picture frame, I'm going to cut it using some wire cutters. I'm only gonna use my glue gun to glue the cooling rack to the picture frame. That's because I'm not gonna use nothing heavy to decorate it with, but if you are, I recommend you using something stronger. Before I decorate my frame, I'm going to paint this metal thankful sign from Dollar Tree using my acrylic paint in Golden Sunset. I am also gonna use one of these wood pumpkins I got from Dollar Tree. I am going to paint it using my acrylic paint and pumpkin. Once the pumpkin was dry, the color was way too bright, so I didn't like it. So what I did is I added a little bit of dark brown paint. After I added that brown, I added a little bit of more orange to it. Then with a different brush, I added some details to the pumpkin using the dark brown acrylic paint. I am also going to paint the stem dark brown. And for the flowers, I'm going to use some fall flowers from Dollar Tree. I picked several different kinds of bushes. I am not going to glue the flowers to the picture frame. What I'm gonna do is I am going to tie them together. First, arrange them how I want them. Then with some juice string, I'm going to tie them in the middle and then tie them to the picture frame. I am using 2 burlap leaves from this pack. I am going to use one on each side. As these leaves have wire, all you have to do is wrap the wire around the rack. I am going to glue these leaves, one in each side, on top of the burlap leaves. From Dollar Tree, I got 4 wood pumpkin fall decors. I'm going to remove the bows and labels. Using my Waverly chalk paint and hazelnut, I'm going to paint all 4 pumpkins. I then decided to give them a rustic old look, and I did some strokes and distressed them using black acrylic paint. After I did that to all 4, I placed them down and painted a line where they connect. What I'm gonna use for the stand is this gallon paint stir stick I got from Lowe's. I had to cut the handle part off and I painted it dark brown. I'm going to glue the pumpkin side by side. I will be gluing some popsicle sticks to the back, and this is going to make it more sturdy and have extra support. I recommend you using E6000 super glue or a stronger glue that you have for this next step. I only had my glue gun. I couldn't find my E6000, but I will add the E6000 once I find it. I love when Dollar Tree carries these metal words, so I'm gonna use the word harvest from this pack I got from Dollar Tree. To decorate my sign, I'm going to use this bush of wheat I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut 4 stems off. I am also going to use this pumpkin mix I got from Walmart. It cost me 97 cents. I am going to use the pumpkin that came with the pumpkin mix. I am going to grab a knife and just cut it in half. I put the stem back on. I got this harvest mix from Walmart. It had these little cute pumpkin, squash, and pine cones. Going to glue the pumpkin first in the middle, and then I'm going to add 1 squash to each side. And that is it. After that, all I did was glue the straw bows back on. I got this pumpkin decor at Dollar Tree. I am going to remove the bow, the pumpkin, and the label. I am going to smooth the pumpkin with sandpaper because the label left it a rough patch. I'm going to use the same hazelnut paint so it can match the rest of my decor. I'm going to distress around the pumpkin using this dark brown. To add more details to my pumpkin, I added some lines. It looks weird, doesn't it? But it will look so much better once the paint is all dry. To decorate the sign, I'm going to use the pumpkin I cut in half. Since it didn't have a stem, I made one for it. I just cut a piece of the wire from where I took the pumpkin off and just used it. I'm going to use the same wheat pick I used earlier and cut 2 stems off. I wanted to add some orange to it, so I had these fall leaf pick from Dollar Tree. I am going to glue the pumpkin, and then I'm going to use a pine cone from the harvest bag I got from Walmart. I'm going to glue it right next to the pumpkin. I had some wheat left, so I cut one off and glued it behind the orange leaf, and I glued the bow back. And this completes this beautiful fall decor. From Dollar Tree, I will be using one of these pumpkin decors and this thankful sign. I'm going to remove the bow and the leaf. I'm going to put these to the side because I will be reusing them. The next thing I will be doing is giving this one coat of my apple barrel acrylic paint in white. I am not painting this perfect. I am going to let some of that brown peek through. With a different paintbrush and some brown paint, I will be distressing all the edges, and then with a pencil, I'm going to draw the details of the pumpkin and then go over them using the same brown paint. Before the paint dries, I'm going to go over the lines with the same brush I used to distress the pumpkin. I went over the edges a little more to make them darker. I'm going to cut 3 pieces of this burlap ribbon. The pieces need to be a little bigger than the thankful sign. I'm going to lay 2 of the pieces side by side. I am then going to add a little bit of the glue so I can add the third one right on top of it in the middle. I am going to glue the burlap to the pumpkin, and then I will be gluing the thankful sign right on top of it. To decorate my sign, I will be using 4 leaves out of this garland. I'm going to glue 2 to each side. I am going to cut some of the berries off so I can add them to it. And the last thing I will be adding is the same metal leaf I took off at the beginning, and I am going to add a jute string bow I made. I will be using this pumpkin decor sign as well as this splatter screen, which you can find it in the kitchen section. I will only be using the pumpkin frame. I'm going to paint the frame using the Waverly chalk paint in truffle. To give it the chicken wire look, I will be using this splatter screen. Before I cut it, I will use a marker to trace the pumpkin so I can know what to cut. To cut it, I used this wire cutter and made a hole Then I use my scissors. Once I finish cutting it, I am going to glue it to the back of the pumpkin frame using my hot glue gun. But you want to make sure you add glue around the wire so it can seal the edges. Once the wire was glued, I didn't like how the brown looked, so this is where I go over it using my apple barrel acrylic paint in white. And I love how the brush leaves the paint all streaky. I also gave it one coat so it can leave some of the brown peeking through. I then use a different brush and the same brown paint to distress it. This small hello wood sign, I got it from Target a while back. I will also be using the wood letters Dollar Tree carries. I'm going to paint them white. So since I didn't have enough letters, I'm going to show you what I used for an A. This is actually an upside down B, and all I did was add a piece of wood to make it look like an A. But I didn't like how that looked. I used this thicker sheet and cut one leaf off to cover the piece of wood I added. Sometimes you just have to improvise and use what you have. I am going to glue the hello first, then the fall underneath. Just make sure once you glue them, pick the sign up so it doesn't glue to the paper or whatever you have underneath. To decorate my sign, I will be using this wheat pick I got from Dollar Tree. I will be cutting 4 stems and I will use 2 on each side. For the center, I will be using 1 sunflower. I got these at Walmart, paid $3, but look how big and beautiful they are. Dollar Tree carries fall floral you can use. I am going to use my glue gun to glue everything to the sign. From this fall garland, I'm going to cut 2 big leaves and 1 small leaf. I am going to glue the big leaves by the sunflower, 1 on each side. Before I glue the smaller leaf, I will be doing a bow using this burlap ribbon. I am going to glue the bow first, then the leaf. I just love how this turned out. I made 2 candle holders using some recycled ribbon rolls and 3 of the small candle holders I got from Dollar Tree. And to decorate, I will be using some of this nautical rope. Using my Waverly chalk paint and truffle, I will be painting all 3 candle holders and the 2 ribbon rolls. This is a very simple DIY. All I did was use my hot glue gun to put these together. If you're gonna add something heavy, I recommend you using E6000, but I am not. I will be using only the LED candles Dollar Tree carries. Those are very lightweight. I am then going to use the nautical rope and glue it around in the middle. I'm going to glue some nautical rope around the ribbon roll. Because I'm only gonna go over it one time and then you can still see some of the brown, I am going to use some of the juice string to cover that. I will be doing that to both of the rolls. After that, all I need to do is glue them on top of the candle holders. I then decided to add some nautical in the middle of the small one to match the big one. And that is all. For this DIY, I will be using the other part of this decor sign, the middle part, and I will be using this Farm Fresh sign. Both of these are from Dollar Tree. I am also using these Walmart window cleans. These were 98 cents. I am going to paint the back of the Farm Fresh sign and the other sign using my apple barrel acrylic paint in white. Using the Waverly chalk paint in truffle, I will be distressing both signs. I am also going to add some shade using the same brown and a smaller paintbrush. Before the paint dried, I went over it and gave it a messier look. Because I went too crazy on it, I will try to clean some up using some white paint. I did the same thing to the smaller pumpkin. As you can see, this pumpkin does not have a stem, so I will be making one using a jumbo popsicle stick. To glue the window clings, you can use Mod Podge or you can mix water and regular glue to make your own. So I took the word gather and placed it on top of the pumpkin. I didn't like how you can see the two lines in the middle. So what I did, I just went over it with the white paint. Here I'm just arranging them to see how I want them to be before I glue them. You see how it looks so much better without the middle lines. Now using my homemade Mod Podge, I will be gluing them to the sign. As you can see, I didn't glue them together before I added the words. That's because I wasn't sure how I wanted them to go. So now that everything's all glued, I will glue them together. I am going to glue the stem and add 3 small popsicle sticks to secure it more. To decorate my sign, I will be using some wheat and leaves. I will do 2 of these little picks. The way I did it is I cut 1 stem of wheat and then added leaves to it. I will glue 1 on each side. I made a bow using the burlap ribbon and I am going to glue it in the middle. And finally, I will be adding 1 leaf to the stem. This completes this fall sign. How did you guys like it? Depending how big you want your pumpkin to be is how much of the stuffing you're gonna use. After putting the stuffing, it kind of looks weird and bumpy, so you just have to play around with it. So what I'm going to do after that is just tie it. I thought I was gonna use the rubber bands you see, but you don't need them. To make the shape of the pumpkin, I am going to wrap the juice string around the ball 4 times to make 8 sections. Make sure you tie them tight. And this is my first pumpkin. For my second pumpkin, I am going to use the rest of the high knee. I am going to tie it at the bottom since I cut the bottom part off. I am going to repeat the same steps I did for the first pumpkin, but this time I am going to add more stuffing because I want this pumpkin to be bigger. For the middle pumpkin, I decided to use a different color. Since my daughter had these old tights, I am going to use these. I will be repeating the same steps. For the base, I am going to use this bowl I had already. Dollar Tree carries lots of different things you can use for the base. Also, I am going to decorate it using some wheat from Dollar Tree. I will be adding some fall leaves and some berries to this to make it look prettier and nicer. So the base doesn't look too plain, I am going to wrap juice string around it a couple of times. To top it off, I will add a juice string bow. I just love how the juice string makes it look a lot better.